teacher has to lead them to actually come up with this. They end up by planting both the specks believed to be dirt and those believed to be seeds, thereby testing their own idea that the regularly shaped ones are seeds, which of course is the correct answer. So imagine an education that includes solving hundreds of such challenges over the course of 13 years of schooling that lead to high school graduation, challenges that increase in difficulty as the children age. We have these curricula already. They were developed starting post-Sputnik. In fact, many countries around the world are now using them even more extensively than we are. I think that children who are prepared for life in this way would be great problem solvers in the workplace. They'd be motivated to learn, and I think even more important, they would be more rational human beings, people who are able to make wise judgments for their family, their community, and their nation. Now, I call this the disaster that followed all that hard work we did on the standards, because the standards were, because of states' rights, voluntary standards that the governors had asked for, and then the states were to make their own standards. California was a typical example. Some very active people who cared deeply about this spent a lot of time on it. And in California and other places with little expertise and much politics, the states went on to produce their own standards in science education, often paying little attention to the national science education standards. In fact, California is very anti the national science education standards. Believe it or not, if you have a piece of a textbook in California that mentions the national science education standards, it's not allowed to be adopted. I mean, this is like sounds like a Marxist society or something. Anyway, and California ended up with some 30 elements of the periodic table to memorize in 5th grade, which is totally ridiculous. Doesn't mean anything to the kids. So tremendous time is now wasted by curriculum developers helping to make their textbooks and other materials match the needs of multiple states, and that means they have to have everything in it. The textbooks have gotten even worse, and the diversity of standards prevents any national effort to make high-quality tests, because good quality tests are very expensive, so we end up with inexpensive multiple-choice tests of the kind I'll show you. And the nail in the coffin has been the no child left behind rules and high-stakes testing, which has really driven people to teach to these poor standards. So how can we recover? The Academy did a 10-year retake on the standards, a wonderful effort called Taking Science to School. Looking back, what have we learned from all this chaos in the last 10 years, and what have we learned from new research? It came up with, also the Academy made a popular version for teachers